Genclerbirligi manager walks into a bar. He says, "Mine's a double." Well, hello there everybody. Merhaba arkadaşlar. Welcome back to the channel. Tekrar hoş geldiniz. Episode 46 then of Breaking the Big Three, and first the big news. Following on from the last episode, we didn't even have to kick a ball to officially claim the title. As you can see here, we've been credited as double winners, having won the Super Cup earlier in the season. How did this happen? Well, this is how it happened. There was a match, the Friday match, second versus third, Besiktas versus Fenerbahce. Either side needed a win to stay in touch with us, and they drew with each other. They drew with each other, thus eliminating each other from any hope of winning the title, and we were champions. So Besiktas, Fenerbahce, I thank you very much. And that win has put me in the Hall of Fame of English managers, which is a bit unexpected. I'm 9th in the all-time list, having won 4 league titles, 2 Turkish Cups. A long way to go to catch the likes of Bob Paisley and Brian Clough, but who knows where this career is going to take us. And here we go, as regards one of our top players, Evren Şengül. I promised him we would qualify for the Champions League to persuade him to stay, and now that we have confirmed that, he's a happy bunny once again. So I've now fast-forwarded from that point where the title was confirmed to the eve of the Turkish Cup final. As you can see here, we're going to be playing Konyaspor today. Konyaspor, who are down in 8th in the league, so they could still give us a game. And I'm going to show you our league form since becoming champions in a minute. I have to kind of mentally bring my players back from the beach. So the last match you saw in episode 45 was the 3-0 win over Besiktas, which all but secured the title. We then followed that up when Besiktas and Fenerbahce drew with each other. We followed that up with a mauling of Kayserispor. Despite having a player sent off, we were still able to cruise to a 4-0 win. Bese with a hat-trick and Samed Kilic scoring from the penalty spot. However, you can then see there's a bit of a dip. Now, this match, I will say, this match against Antalyaspor was my fault. I brought in a lot of youth players. I'm going to show you our youth player intake in a minute because it was another decent one. But I kind of overdid it, I think, with the youth players. You'll see lots of unfamiliar names here. Erdem and Murat, Ismail Koca, Cem Özcan. I brought Nuno Pimenta back into the team. Erman Altan. These were all youngsters, and Antalyaspor, I guess we should have shown them a bit more respect perhaps, and they were able to score twice late on to get a 3-1 win. Akhisarspor, though, was a bit more disappointed. Again, I didn't play a full-strength team here. I did play some youngsters, but I was resting players ahead of the Cup semi-final, but this was still a game we should have won. We scored early on, but then the second half, Akhisarspor were just all over us. That's the first time we've lost 2 games in a row domestically for a long time. But that paid off in the sense that we were able to dominate Antalyaspor in the Cup, having lost to them 3-1 just 10 days before. Samed Kilic, Bese, Fatih Turk, Mosameng with the goals. Antalya did equalise shortly after we'd taken the lead, but it was all us in the second half, and we waltzed into today's final. We then carried that form back over to the league a bit when we quite easily beat Trabzonspor, Evren Şengül with a brace, and Pimenta getting a goal on his marking his return to the team. So that was a satisfying win. Then we had an away defeat to Galatasaray. I mean, yeah, there's no shame in losing away to Galatasaray. They are struggling, though. They're in the bottom half of the table. So in that sense, it was disappointing. And again, it was just a game that we never looked like winning. And our most recent match, again, the frustrations continue. Göztepe, who have been a bit of a bogey team for us in the past. It was just such a frustrating game. Okay, they took the lead. We equalised. Then it was just that we were constantly chasing the game. Even though, I'll show you the stats, we had a ridiculous amount of shots here. 18 shots on target out of 33 in total. I think we had something like 7 or 8 clear-cut chances. They had 3 shots on target and they scored 3 goals. It was just one of those games. I did individually speak to pretty much every member of the back 4 after the match to tell them that they were awful. Waco also missed a penalty early in the game. So it was just all round not a very good performance. But before we get into the cup final, let's show you the fruits of our youth project. There were some good players coming through. If I sort them by potential, you'll see, as usual, I've labelled them 2023. So we've got this guy, look, 15-year-old striker, 5-star potential, good enough to be rotated in and out of the team already. But you'll see there's an injury icon next to him. Well, let's show you his profile first. Finishing, heading, first touch, they're all starting off nice and high. Determination is high as well. He's got decent natural fitness, got some pace, but now you'll see I did give him a couple of games in the league, couple of run-outs. Damaged cruciate ligaments though. In an under-19 game, he got this terrible injury and he's going to be out for 7 months. Not the best start to the career. I've never had a serious injury like this happen to a player this young before, so be interested to see what effect this has on his development. Hopefully he'll still be able to reach his potential. We also had another right winger come through, Cem Özcan. I'm very impressed by his acceleration, and that's a cornerstone of my tactic, the fact that Holtman and Schenkel are such pacey wingers. That really works well, so we'll be happy to have this guy brought through as a potential successor to Evren or Fatih Turk in the future. And actually the pick of the youth intake was this kid, Erman Altan, a left-sided defender, fullback, and he's natural in the fullback. It's not a defensive fullback for once, which is great. You'll see he's already had 3 starts in the Super League, and although we haven't played particularly well in the Super League recently, he's got a rating of a 6.93, which is pretty good. And you see there's improvements coming in across the board already. His determination is perhaps a little bit lower than some of my other players, but that's something we can work on. Balanced personality, so there's a good chance to work on that with tutoring. And yeah, 4-star potential ability, but I think there's potential here for him to be a first teamer within a couple, let's say 3 or 4 years. Squad news now, some squad news now. I mentioned earlier in the video, Evren Schenkel was happy that we had qualified for the Champions League. Within a week, he was saying he wanted an improved contract because he's such a key player. And it was one of those negotiations again where initially the agent was asking for something like £90,000 a week. Those talks broke down. Then he sacked his agent. He got a new agent who we were able to negotiate with a bit more reasonably. So you can see he signed a deal £58,000 a week, which is higher than Gerrit Holtman, much higher than anybody else in the squad. But I think if you look at the fact that he's only 22, he's already 4 stars current ability, he's still got room to improve. I think this is a good deal for us. I mean, maybe in a couple of years' time we'll lose him to a big European team, but that means we should be able to sell him for quite a sum when that day comes. And one more thing to show you before we get onto the match. I have been busy in the transfer market, lining up some future transfers. Now you'll maybe be able to understand from the names, the majority of the players I've got coming in the summer are Turkish. I'm wary of the fact that I'm already at my foreigner limits. I've got a couple of foreign players also out on loan. We've got another one here, Ernst Berger, coming in from Germany as a left back. So, you know, I'm at my limit as far as foreigners go. I need to look into getting more Turkish youth in. So these are the guys we've signed. Mehmet Dikmen, he's another right winger. I am stacking these guys up. But again, this was a deal arranged when contract talks with Evren Schenkel had broken down, and I thought we're going to need some more depth on the right wing. But he gives us good options. I mean, we can always move Evren Schenkel into the central attacking midfield role, and then he'll be a useful backup to Fatih Turk. Tarık Demir is coming in from Bursaspor, central defender. Again, I've got quite a few foreign players here. Savic and Antov every so often ask to leave, so this just gives me that safety cushion that I can get rid of those guys if they kick up too much of a fuss and have a good Turkish backup. We've also got Yavuz Özler to give us a bit more depth in this attacking midfield role, because we've only really got Mosameng at the moment, and then we've got some youth player backups with 3-star potential. This guy has a 5-star potential. He's already made quite a few appearances in the Super League this season for Fenerbahce. He's not been farmed out on loan, so I think we've definitely got someone here with the potential to develop into quite a strong first-team player. And our final Turkish signing, Cevat Soyit, to fill in that defensive midfield role, so still gives us the option to switch between the two tactics. I mean, he's got super high determination, so I'm very confident that he'll be able to reach his potential. pretty good physical stats, except for the stamina, obviously, so that's something to work on. He's going to need some development. This might be a guy that we send out on loan next year. And there is one more foreigner coming in, Daniel Goret, a French player, left winger. I've got him in just in case anything happens with Gerrit Holtmann walking out on us potentially. So yeah, let me know what you think of those transfers. Which players you think have potential to shine in the future? Which players you think, dodgy gamer, what did he sign that guy for? Anyway, on to our team for today's match. Because we've been struggling recently and our attacking formation, the AI team seem to be finding a way around it. I've gone for a formation with a defensive midfielder. Let's play it a bit more safely here. So we've gone with Utku in goal. We've got Savic and Shields in the centre of defence. Osgur and Tom as our fullbacks. Our midfield triumvirate consists of Omer Korkmaz, Pimenta and Samet Kilic. Evren and Holtmann on the wings and Besse up front. This is a team I'm confident should be able to bring the cup home for the third season in a row. Konyaspor lining up with a similar shape. I'm confident, though, that we should have the quality to outplay them. Team talk time, and we are going to tell the team to do this for the fans, which gets no positive reaction at all. We're also going to add, that I have faith, which gets a much better reaction, and a tunnel interview. We've dropped Oscar, yes, because he's a backup player. That's why. Gerrit Holtmann comes into the team. What's the thinking behind that? Well, he is like the best player we've got. That's the thinking behind that. I don't know, FM, sometimes they're asking me why I didn't pick a 19-year-old Spanish kid over an established German player at his peak. Anyway, there's Holtmann with a cross in early on. It comes to Pimenta in the middle. Is this going to be an early chance? No. Konyaspor intercept, and it just turns out to be an opening highlight after all. Okay, fairly quiet start to the game. Cagey start to the cup final, but good, we've got it here. Pimenta in the middle, pulling the strings, knocks it out to Evren. Evren is going to skip past the fullback, gets the cross in towards Holtmann. It falls for Besse, and we've taken the lead in the 7th minute. Fantastic. Where has this kind of play been in the league? I do not know. Let's have a closer look at that from the direct-to-camera angle. Beautiful touch from Evren there. Whips in the cross early on. Holtmann, very good awareness there to nod that down rather than head it to goal, and Besse gets it. Fantastic stuff. Though this has been an issue in the league that we've scored like this and then conceded very soon after. Oh, so I should tell the players to concentrate. There you go, concentrate. Good. Tom is looking nervous. Again, we've got this thing where when we got closer, the news item started to appear that we just need one more win or one more point to secure the league, and then saying, oh, they need one more win to match the points record and so on. My players started to get nervous again, which I think that's a bit overdone perhaps this year. There's no need for them to get nervous once the title's already sewn up and it's just a matter of chasing records, which are probably going to be broken in a couple of years anyway. Okay, so it's been all us. Konyaspor have just had the one shot, which we haven't seen. Bit worried that we've only got 3 of our 10 shots on target. Perhaps we'll look into work the ball into the box later in the game. But Savic there with the header, but it goes straight to the keeper. That would have been nice to get a second goal just before half-time. So tell me there, Pimenta's picked up a knock. Looks like a bruised ankle. Okay, we will sub him off at half-time. It doesn't have the injured icon next to him. But okay, if he's going to be a wuss about it, we'll take him off. We'll put on Van de Gen. And I'm going to tell the boys not to get complacent. The goalkeeper looks stressed for some reason. Just going to check the tactics out, actually, because there's a potential clash there that, yeah, both Omer Korkmaz and Van de Gen are labelled as deep line playmakers. All right, so we're going to change Omer Korkmaz into a ball-winning midfielder. And let's start the second half. I mean, we are dominating. The only concern is here that we're only 1-0 up. So a second goal will go a long way to calming any nerves. Here we go, Samed. Omer Korkmaz has hit the post. Oh, dearie me. I thought we'd scored then. But okay, here we go. Holtmann with the in-swinging corner. It comes to Evren. Evren knocks it in, and Shields heads over from about 2 yards out. I guess he was underneath the ball and just couldn't head it down. Okay, and here come Konyaspor. This is the kind of thing I was worried about. Okay, but that goes harmlessly over. He kind of snatched at the shot. We will tell the players to concentrate yet again, though. Holtmann's picked up a knock. We'll get up to the hour mark, and then we'll take him off, I guess. Okay, who can we bring on for Holtmann? The best option I've got is Danny Welbeck, so we'll put Welbeck in as an inside forward. Tell the team to concentrate again. And here we go. Ömer Korkmaz knocks it to Van de Ven. Is Van de Ven going to shoot? Yes, he is. Oh, that would have been quite some goal had it gone in. But okay, I mean, Konyaspor still haven't mustered a shot on target, so I'm pretty happy with that. But we've given the ball away to them here, which I'm not very happy about. But okay, we've won it back. Ömer Korkmaz now plays in Samed. Samed knocks it out to Tom, who's made a run down the left. He gets his cross in. Evren knocks it back into Welbeck, and the keeper saves the header. I am just worried that we're not getting a second goal. What's happened to Samed Kilic? He's dropped down to 54% physical condition. That is not good at all. Okay, we are going to switch things around a bit then. So we'll bring in Gökhan. We'll swap him over. We'll just swap these guys around a bit. So Ömer Korkmaz can switch back into the deep line playmaker role. We'll put him on defend just to hold things together a bit more. All right, that's our final substitution. Hopefully we're not going to get any more injuries. We should concentrate from here, boys. They still haven't had a shot on target, so I'm not going to tinker with tactics because we're obviously holding their strikers off well enough that they're just taking pot shots from range. But okay, here we go. Ömer Korkmaz. Savic hoofs one up. Okay, let's chase that down, someone. Put pressure on the defender. But, oh, what is going on here with Welbeck? He was not tracking back at all there. But okay, he's picked up the ball now from Van de Ven. Knocks it into Besse. Is that going to be allowed? Looks like it could have been offside, but no. Besse has scored his second goal. Yep, they are arguing with the referee. Lots of stuff coming up here on the commentary about it potentially being offside. Let's have another look at that one. So Van de Ven plays one over the top to Welbeck. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think that might have been offside. But okay, it's stood. Perfect time to score a second goal in a cup final. Are we going to add a third? No, Konyaspor intercept the throw, but we've got them pinned into the corner. And Ömer Korkmaz has won it, and Besse scored his hat-trick. Fantastic stuff. Terrible play from the defender there. But, you know, we can only take the chances that we're given. Yeah, look at that. He just gets caught in possession completely. Ömer Korkmaz harries the ball off him. Just easily nicks it off him, and Besse's got a simple tap in at the near post. Here we go. Besse knocks it out to Welbeck. I don't think we're going to add a fourth here, but there's still time. There's still 2 minutes. Not sure why the game's showing us this many highlights, because, you know, it's all over for Konyaspor now. They've got no way back into this match. They could only get a consolation goal. Oh, and dearie me, we're just all over them now. Welbeck gets the header. It was indeed great play by Evren to set that one up. Let's just have a look at that again. Evren, is that the same guy? No, it's not the same guy who gave the ball away for the last goal. But Evren whips in the cross. Welbeck with the header. Lovely stuff. 4-0 win. We've cruised to this one in the end. Although it was only 1-0 on 88 minutes. Tom, dearie me, skies that one. There was a chance to make it 5-0. And that's the game. We've won the cup. Cue the ticker tape and the celebrations. There we go. Another cup win for Genclerbirligi. We now have an unbeaten run going back 3 years. It was 3 years ago in the final, the last time we lost a cup game. We haven't even lost like the away leg in a two-legged tie at all. Oh, look at that. We scored on 7 minutes, and then the final 3 goals coming on 89, 90 plus 1, and 90 plus 3. Well, at least we kept our concentration. Enjoy your success, lads. We are going to play Konyaspor now in our next league match, actually. We have 2 league games left, Konyaspor and Adanaspor. I'm just going to skip ahead and we'll get to the end of season awards. So if you do want to just pause the video here, drop a comment. Who do you think is going to pick up the player of the year? Do you think any of our players are going to win Turkish League awards? Let me know and we'll see if you were right. Fade to black. Be right back. And just jumping back in here for the first bit of awards news. So Fatih Turk was named as the Turkish Cup Player of the Year, with Etienne Besse coming third in the poll. Besse won the Top Scorer award with 8 goals in 7 appearances. Obviously that hat-trick in the final, that was what enabled him to jump past this guy Bilal Başakçıoğlu to claim the award. Nicely played, boys. And there you go, we finished the season. We played Konyaspor days after the cup final, and pretty much the same thing. This time it was 3-0 instead of 4-0. Gustafsson with the goal in the first half, Antov and Oscar in the second half, and again, they didn't get a shot on target. Over 2 matches, they didn't get a shot on target. Sergen Yalchin, manager of Konyaspor, had the nerve to say we got lucky after that as well. And then final day of the season, we've just played this match against Adanaspor. Adanaspor needing a result to stay in the Super League, and we just walked all over them. A 4-0 win. Evren Şengül could have had a hat-trick because he missed a penalty in the second half, and Besse and Holtmann making sure of it. The Hoff played his last game for the club. I let him have a start. I subbed him on 88 minutes, even though the game commentary didn't pick up on that in any way. They did, pre-match media did pick up on the fact that it might be his last game for the club. That's what I did. I gave him a little bit of a send-off, gave the fans a chance to give a round of applause. The Hoff, after all, is the man who saved that penalty. Yeah, that penalty, the one that if he hadn't saved it, I probably would have been sacked right back at the start of this save. So thank you, the Hoff. And just to look at the final table then, you see Genclerbirligi way out in front. We won the title by a whopping 23 points in the end. Fenerbahce, who were our challengers for so long, ended up all the way down in 6th. Besiktas kept their form going, so they will join us in the Champions League next season, which is good. I think that will help get Turkey's coefficient back up. Osmanlıspor, another Ankara team, and Akhisarspor, Trabzonspor, they're taking the Europa League spots. Adanaspor, Kayserispor and Rizespor relegated. Galatasaray slumping down to 11th. Awards time then. Salah Özcan came 3rd in the Goal of the Season award. So pretty good stuff from him. We've got players in the Team of the Year. Utku Yuvakaran, our goalkeeper, and Valentin Antov. Only 2 players. Okay, 2 players in the Team of the Year. Fair Play Award, we came 3rd in this based on the number of yellow and red cards. We actually got some money for this. Let's see if I can find the message now. Yeah, we were awarded £212,000 for having the 3rd best disciplinary record. So, thanks. And as we approach the summer break, it's awards time. Genclerbirligi Fans Awards time. So, Fatih Turk, Ted Redwood Gaming called it. Fatih Turk did indeed get the Fans Player of the Season with 65% of the vote ahead of Evren Şengül and Salah Özcan. I'm guessing the fact that he's a homegrown player factors in there. Salah Özcan got the Goal of the Season with that screamer against Besiktas. Neil Tom, Signing of the Season, a free, absolute bargain. And Evren Şengül, Young Player of the Season. Now that's interesting because Evren Şengül and Fatih Turk are used on the right wing. Evren Şengül is first pick. Fatih Turk is the backup rotation, but he won the overall player of the season, whereas Evren Şengül has to settle for Young Player of the Season. A couple of bits of squad news before we go. I'm having a contract negotiations dragging on with a couple of people. Fatih Turk, our Player of the Year, you can see here he's unhappy. He asked for a new contract. This is one of those ridiculous ones where I was telling all my players, anyone who asked me for a new contract, my automatic response was, let's talk about it at the end of the season. With Fatih Turk, I said the same. He said, no, that's too long to wait. I want to talk about it now. This was on the eve of the Adanaspor game, the final game of the season, and he said he couldn't wait like 3 days. I mean, I suppose it was silly of me to choose that option then, but I did then offer him a new contract together with the other players after that final game of the season, but at first it wasn't too bad. I thought his agent was asking for a reasonable amount, around 40,000 a week, so I offered 35, but then I noticed that they had a clause in there that after 5 international appearances, his wage was going to shoot up to like 75k a week. So I took that out, and then as soon as I took that out, they started asking for 60,000 a week. So the talks broke down. We have successfully offered a new contract, though, to Mosameng, so hopefully he's going to accept that. We're just waiting for him to confirm on that. There were a couple of other players, though, who turned down their contract offers. Besse turned down his contract offer, unfortunately. So there may be some ins and outs based on that. You can see the wanted sign has popped up against a few of my players. Gustavsson, Newcastle and Wolfsburg thinking about coming in for him. Mosameng, Arsenal, Stuttgart, Feyenoord, they're all after him, but hopefully he's going to accept that new deal and then their interest is going to cool off. Then we've also got Ben Shields, wanted by Stoke and Red Bull Leipzig. And I only expect the interest in my players to continue as we get deeper into the summer. Oscar is off with the Spain team at the Under-20 World Cup, so who knows, if he turns in some good performances there might be some interesting offers for him as well. League champions, Cup and Super Cup winners. We did all right in Europe. Second knockout round in Europa League. I mean, we were knocked out by Arsenal in the end, so we can't complain too much about that. But we'll definitely be looking for more in Europe next season. That's got to be the focus moving forward. And I'm going to feature European games more heavily in the episodes more than the domestic games. So I hope you enjoyed that season 6 with Genclerbirligi. Please hit that like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I will be doing my best to continue producing content over the next several weeks before I have my big move and so on. And even though, the football season's ended, I'm going to continue with Football Manager here. I'm Dodgy Gamer. See you next season.